When you have an audience and you have stories that people want to hear, it's very difficult to stop you. With an audience of your own, you could change things, you could sell things, and you could even get people to give you your money to put goat parts in their testicles. If people want to hear from you, good luck to anybody who gets in their way. This is a quote from Ian Harris's 2014 book called Hooked on You: The Genius Way to Make Anybody Read Anything, referencing one of the biggest charlatans in American history, John Romulus Brinkley. Brinkley was an acclaimed medical physician who gained notoriety and extreme wealth in the early 1900s for transplanting goat testicles into men to cure ailments such as erectile dysfunction, virility, dementia, emphysema, and to improve overall health. Despite his ridiculous $750 asking price, around $11,500 in today's inflated economy, Brinkley found massive success, becoming a rich man virtually overnight. Unsurprisingly, these procedures were more like medical death sentences, as it would soon come to light that not only were his patients left disfigured, but, oh yeah, they were dying as well. Not only was he often intoxicated when operating, but his equipment was also extremely unsterile, and many times the same equipment would be used from patient to patient. And to top it off, this man purchased his medical degree, meaning that he had zero medical experience and was basically playing a grown-up IRL version of operations. The American Medical Association would soon step in to strip him of his medical license, while basically plastering posters all around the country to stay far, far away from this deluded man. Despite the scandal, the literal murder of numerous patients, Brinkley still went on to be one of the most beloved Americans, somehow dodging a jail sentence and even running for governor of Kansas only 3 days later. I bring this up as Brinkley is one of the first names you find when you search up the term charlatan. A charlatan is most commonly defined as a person falsely claiming to have a special knowledge or skill or a similar confidence trick in order to obtain money, power, fame, or other advantages through pretenses or deception. More recent common examples of modern-day charlatans would be Charles Ponzi, known for the Ponzi scheme, Bernie Madoff for his Ponzi scheme successor, Victor Lustig, who's the guy that tried to sell the Eiffel Tower twice. Crazy story, I know. Ty Lopez, this generation's Victor Lustig.
Here in my garage.
The whole Enron fiasco, Sam Bankman-Fried, the founder of FTX, and literally anyone who promoted crypto coins. With the availability of misinformation out there and the ability for just about anyone with fingers and internet connection to become a presence in today's media, it seems like these people, these gurus or experts, are being spawned at a rate that is extremely alarming. Especially as it has been seemingly escalating with each passing year, going from basement YouTube dwellers and posh social media influencers to esteemed journalists, TV personalities, and politicians with the power to change the minds of the masses and influence the laws that govern our society. I mean, here you have Andrew Tate copycats with guys like this.
I'm going to tell you this, my entire company, my entire team, if you don't have a six-pack, you don't work for us.
Or you have the Ty Lopez, I'm here in my garage guys like this.
Hey, how would you like to learn how to buy a multi-million-dollar apartment building with only $800 or $900?
Or you have these pastors preying on the religion of people by using their faith against them like this.
And when you do to sow $1,144, it's not often I ask very specifically, but God has instructed me.
Or the sleazy politicians making outlandish, disgusting, impossible promises that only if you elect them, then they can make it happen like this.
We're going to build the wall. We have no choice. Who's going to pay for the wall? 100%.
I promise you, if I'm elected president, you're going to see the single most important thing that changes in America is we're going to cure cancer.
It's almost as if everyone now is an expert. everyone knows how you should live your life, what you should do in order to reach this or achieve that, and only they know how things should be. Talk about main character syndrome. More often than not, what these people claim to be able to do for you or teach you is an attempt for them to line their pockets, to continue to boast their own image of success, to draw in more and more people who are genuinely seeking help and guidance. In this video, I wanted to highlight the most common forms of modern day charlatanism so that you that is watching can be prepared and be aware so that you don't fall victim to these traps themselves. I mean, I would hate for one of you guys to end up with goat testicles inside. This is probably the most common form of charlatan out there, as what is the one thing that people desire most more than anything in this world? Money. Money is one of those things that is applicable to people of all forms of life, backgrounds, and circumstances, and many people view having money as the end-all be-all to fixing all of life's problems. And with the nature of money and just how far some people are willing to go to obtain it, and I can't put the emphasis on how far, people who rise to some level of prominence claiming that they can make you rich almost overnight with little to no effort by simply purchasing their course or investing your life savings into their fraudulent business model has become the most prevalent charlatan there will ever be. Compared to the frauds of yesteryear, the rise of social media has enabled the likes of many to display a financed, lavish, luxurious, designer-filled lifestyle that many of us normies could only dream about. Even the most non-materialistic person would love to wake up to sandy beaches and blue waters every morning, knowing that they can enjoy life's sweetest fruit without having to wake up at 9 a.m. to clock in or having to report to their boss each and every morning. So when you're flipping burgers at your local fast food joint to save up, or when you run into that asshole customer that berates you for something that isn't even your fault, and you sit there, you take it because you know you need this job to pay your bills, and you get home and you open up TikTok or YouTube to relax or just to enjoy some comedic relief after a long day, and you end up seeing fucking Grant Cardone or people wearing talking about how they're making 6 figures an hour due to their sports betting picks, or God forbid crypto coin schemes that are miraculously still going on in 2024. All of these proclaimed money-making methods that will turn you from a 9-to-5er into a self-made millionaire overnight. Just a quick newsflash. These do not work. For any field you truly aspire to succeed in, it takes months and years of hard work, dedication, a little bit of luck in order to reach the heights and to receive the checks of those who will become the ones to be modeled after. It's super cliche, I know, but generally what I've found out in life is that life's biggest cliches are often the ones that hold the most true. There are no cheat codes to success in this world unless you're related to like a super rich, loaded family member. I don't know, maybe you happen to be the son of the president of the United States. But that's really not important. Like I said, there's no cheat codes to success most of the time. And with the right opportunity and a few lucky circumstances, maybe, just maybe, you can amount to the riches of what you think happiness needs to be. Alright, this one is a little more tailored toward my guys out there who are trying to look like Larry the Lobster or believe that they could somehow look like Arnold on 300 grams of protein a day while eating nothing more than egg whites, chicken breast, and rice. And oh wait, make sure you purchase my supplements by using my code STEROIDS, as I can guarantee you 20% off of all my supplements store-wide. After 6 months, you could go from this to this. Second news flash of the video, this will not work, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me start over. Ever since the dawn of time, appearance has been one of the most valued characteristics that any man, woman, or animal can possess. In the wild, many species select their mates based off of appearances and let the matey determine whether or not the mate looks protective enough to bear children and defend them. Humans are similar in the fact that if you're not a celebrity or are known to be a money printing machine, most of your value for men and for women is held in how you look. The girls with the cutest faces and the biggest behinds get the most likes, and the guys with the biggest muscles and the strongest of jawlines from the gods get the most attention. Even while this is only partially true, it is generally desired for us to look as appealing as possible to the opposite gender to show our perceived worth. And for guys, since it is hardest for us to find a mate, we turn to bodybuilding in order to build physique, strength, and to appear healthier, stronger, and better than the next man. Natural selection, Charles Darwin said dog eat dog world. Strongest survive. No, you moron. Survival of the fittest. Yeah, something like that. And while every man should work out, not every man is willing to wait 2 or 3 years for the desired result. The issue isn't working out or hitting the gym too often. It's these fucking gurus, man. I downloaded Instagram for the first time since middle school. If you're interested in checking out that video, I'll link it in here and in the description. But me being a guy invested in fitness and wellness, I am constantly bombarded with algorithmic suggestions of posts from the insanely jacked guy selling supplements and products so that I can look like him too. Excuse me, but I don't want to look like the motherfucker that ate Arnold. The worst part about it is that these guys claim to be natties, which basically is a term that just means that they're not taking any performance enhancers or steroids, in a way promoting body dysmorphia. Actually, fuck that. They are promoting body dysmorphia. As guys who follow your shit and take your bullshit supplements will never look like you. These Mr. Olympia guys and the Arnolds of the world all admit that they were juicing to the gods in their days, leading your followers to believe that you achieve this naturally, or worse, that you achieve this with your $40 creatine. Downright criminal. Take Liver King, for example, who has become one of the more well-known bodybuilders as of late, whose whole persona was around natural eating of raw cow dung or whatever the fuck this is, while promoting being natural by following his testaments and taking supplements while going on a world tour saying how he doesn't take steroids.
There's a lot of subprimals that are convinced that Liver King is taking steroids. Do you think if I was on steroids, I would have these fucking appendages down here? I lied. I've done steroids, and yes, I'm on steroids.
There are a lot of guys like him. There are plenty of steroid pumping gurus claiming to have knowledge of how to get you to look like them without mentioning how they got a little extra assistance from the Jews while selling you sugar pills in the form of creatine and BCAAs. So you too can endlessly work out hoping to look like these guys for results that will never come. I'm only going to mention him since he's one of the few that have actually admitted to lying out there, but there are tons of people and channels exposing fraudulent natties, but we can all unanimously say
He's on the juice.
This is probably the most harmless one of them all, as it doesn't involve you plunging yourself into financial ruin or injecting or ingesting garbage into your body. Its victims are just those gullible enough to purchase these courses. The life coach, or should I say the imitation school of Andrew Tate.
We both pull up and we go to your girl. Odds are I'm gonna take that bitch. If you compared me to you, you're not gonna win that battle.
Consists of unwavering.
Here's why video games are making you weak as fuck.
Unusually aggressive.
These reviews, fucking pussies! That's a fucking
unreasonably loud men.
Wake up! Wake up!
While echoing sentiments that have been professed hundreds of times over, while flaunting luxurious expenses and telling tales of exotic adventures. I'm not as opposed to these guys as much as the others I mentioned, just because for the most part, these are people who are merely just offering advice and attempting to motivate the youth, and people who are struggling to succeed, which is a foundation that I could definitely get behind. However, where most of these guys fall flat is in their genuinity, believability, and of course, drumroll please, their courses. Come on, can you really consider yourself a guru without selling a shitty course to go with it? But back to my point of genuineness. A couple years ago, this guy absolutely took over the internet as every other post, publication, or news piece was covering his meteoric rise. And when you become the most Googled person of the year for just being yourself on a camera, making controversial statements from time to time before being deplatformed, best believe an incoming wave of copycatters and grifters are following right behind you. And coming down off the success of Andrew Tate, it's almost as if every other life coach whose popularity is bubbling is now a mere carbon copy of Top G. Guys like this.
Single moms, to answer your question directly, like I said,
I don't think it's a bad thing.
Recreational use only.
No.
Do you know? You guys know?
Like this.
Who's in a relationship? Raise your hand. Are you having sex every single day? If you're not, dude, you don't like you. Because if you did, your ass would be naked every night having sex. Am I right?
And like this.
You could have action all day, but if you don't have results, you ain't really putting in the intensity, baby bitch. Baby girl!
Are popping up left, right, and center with the main goal of what you might be thinking. Ding, 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 ding. That is correct. It is to sell you their courses. But the thing about these courses is that the information that is being given to you is literally just a Bible of what they have already been telling you. And the only difference between the two is that one is $50 a month, while the other one is, well, free. Please don't take my word for it. Just take a look at the other hundreds of videos out there. People who have taken these influencer courses only to be pretty dissatisfied with the lackluster information offered. There are some people out there who are offering valuable, applicable, and practical advice whose whole goal isn't to empty your wallet, but to actually try to inspire you and change your life. Not everyone who sells you a course is after your wallet. Like, some of these courses out here actually help people and are well thought out and put together, but it just seems like there are so many more people just trying to profit from their fake lifestyle in hopes to entice you enough to pay your hard-earned money to enhance theirs. I saved the best one for last, in my personal opinion, as this has to be the most scummiest of charlatans out there. Religion is one of the most powerful forces of motivation and discipline in life, and with the amount of people who actively believe and participate in organized religion, whether you're Jewish, Muslim, Christian, non-secular, whatever the case may be, it wouldn't take too long for many people to try to capitalize on this strongly held faith. And boy, have they capitalized. While there isn't really many gurus on the subject matter, the real charlatans come in the form of these mega church pastors and preachers who are profiting millions and millions of dollars off the suffering of its followers and the strength of their followers' faith.
And defeated to show God that you're really humble. No, when you're poor, broke, and defeated, all that proves is that you're poor, broke, and defeated. It doesn't bring any honor to God. It doesn't bring any honor to God.
My first house cost $14,700. I'm giving you a chance to write your check out. $14,700. My second house cost $81,900, and this watch costs more than that.
Okay, I really believe that if Jesus was physically on the earth today, he wouldn't be riding a donkey. Think about that for a minute. He'd be in an airplane preaching the gospel all over the world.
The fear of, what are we going to do? I'm getting laid off at work. Hey, your job's not your source. Jesus is your source. Whatever you do right now, don't you stop tithing. Well, they won't let us go to church. Well, email it in there, text give or something, but you get your tithe in that church. If you have to go take it down there and drop it off and stick it under the door or something, you get that tithe in that church, you get that offering in that church, and then you go home. COVID-19!
COVID-19!
Creflo Dollar. He changed his name to Dollar.
For 200,000 people to give contributions of $300 or more to make this a reality.
All these preachers have used the donations of many to fund their indulgence on multi-million-dollar homes and exuberant vacation destinations, private jets, expensive clothing. But even aside from all that, where shit gets really grimy is these people proclaiming to be performing acts of God to heal severely injured or physically disabled people with the touch of their hand, performing miracles on stage, as they call it.
Take it! Take it! Take it!
For 3 years, unable to walk. She came out of a wheelchair.
This woman who said she had polio and would never walk again, she and her friends say she just climbed out of her wheelchair and walked.
It's a miracle. It's a miracle. It's unbelievable.
That woman works for us. Woman doesn't have polio, never did.
Got him. We fucking got him.
When in reality, they are hiring actors or just downright faking the whole ordeal in order to attain more followers who will donate more money to make them even more richer. These guys are similar to the life coach, professing ways to live your life to receive blessings that they have received through purchasing their books, when in reality, the wealth was achieved through deception and playing off the unshakable faith that people hold in their religion to make a profit. I could have gone more in depth, as there are so many charlatans in the world, subjects I didn't even get to cover, such as charlatans of music, dieting, stock market, clothing, and just about any other thing that is proven to make people rich. For every guru alive and every Amiri wearing charlatan out there, you are and will always be the method. These people rely on the desperation and the impatience of people's desires to become successful. Without you, their whole business model falls apart. For every scam text or email that we roll our eyes at, someone takes the bait. And it is no different with social media or media in general. If you haven't already realized, the main goal of all of these gurus and charlatans is to make money, to grow their empire. Every action, every post, every word is said with the goal of securing another sucker who will pour their money into a message, brand, or product that lacks sustenance by making false, invalid, and boosted claims about succeeding or being successful in the field that they have shortcutted to the top without ever truly having the knowledge on how to get there in the first place. Oh, and side note, in case you're wondering, the guy that I was talking about way in the beginning, you know, the GOAT testicle man, yeah, he did lose that election only after getting 240,000 votes. God bless America.